Hello there. Today I will be sharing thoughts on the Edgic for this fourth episode of Survivor. If you don't know what the Edgic is, I will link a great article from Inside Survivor in the description explaining it all. I will go through each player and give my thoughts on their edit from episode 4, winning chances, and whether I consider them a contender to win. These abilities are determined by how much they are on screen, how many confessionals they have, and if they receive any SPV. Our eliminated player this episode is JD. JD had a lot of focus in the edit this episode centered around his advantages and how he wants to play around it with Shan. His rating this week is a complex personality, and he will be missed by me. Danny got focus in the edit this week, as opposed to the little he received in the last 2 weeks. This episode showed Danny mostly giving narration about the challenge and his plan with Deshawn to throw it. He was not very complex this week, but this is better for his edit than receiving nothing. Danny receives a middle-of-the-road rating this week, with very low chances to win. Deshawn had a big edit on the Luvu tribe this week. Erika confided in Deshawn about her game, and her plans to vote out Sydney, and he gave us his thoughts about the situation. He told Sydney about Erika's plan, and told us he felt closer to Sydney than Erika. He also mostly narrated the plan to throw the challenge, giving him even more focus in the episode. Deshawn receives a complex personality rating this week, and he would have solid chances to win, but unfortunately the Luvu tribe is not in a good spot. Erika finally got a bigger edit this week, but what we saw was bad for her winning chances. Erika told us she has been playing more under the radar this season, and wants to make a big move to vote out Sydney, but unfortunately she told the wrong person in Deshawn. Deshawn is against her in the edit, which is a negative look for her in this episode, but she did give her thoughts on her game and what she wants to do. Erika receives a complex personality negative rating this week, and is essentially eliminated from contention at this point. Evvie had a quieter episode again this week, following her quiet episode last week. She gave a confessional about how the Yace tribe is continuing to win even after losing, and commented on the sea turtles hatching, but did not give us much else in this episode. Evvie is someone who is dropping off in screen time when she is not relevant to the edit this season, which is not a great look for her winning chances. Evvie receives a middle-of-the-road rating this week. Genie had a big edit this episode, her biggest episode yet. Her edit was mostly just commenting on others, or being angry about being blindsided this week. She didn't talk much about her strategy, and never told us her plans for Tribal, only saying she wanted to use her shot in the dark, which did not turn out to happen. For Genie's winning chances, I would want more about her strategy or relationships, but there isn't a lot of depth there. Genie receives an over-the-top rating this week, and while she isn't eliminated, she needs a better edit at this point before I seriously consider her to win. Heather finally got some more screen time this season, and the result was lots of positivity for her. We saw her struggle through the challenge, where she got positive focus from the rest of the cast and Jeff, and we saw her thoughts on the challenge after. While she did get more this episode, she still has a very quiet edit overall this season, giving her low chances to win in my eyes. She receives an over-the-top, positive rating this week. Liana had a quiet episode this week, not getting much at all. She still has a solid edit overall this season, but getting so little in an episode like this does worry me for her winning chances. She has her established relationships with Evvie and Tiffany, and has decent personal content, but she is on the quieter side overall, and I would like to see more personal content from Liana. Liana receives an under-the-radar rating this week. Naseer did not get much this week outside of the challenge. He unknowingly thwarted Danny and Deshawn's plan to throw the challenge, winning the whole thing almost by himself. Beyond that, we didn't see much, and overall his edit has been on the weirder side this season. I don't think Naseer has high chances to win, but time will tell for him. Naseer receives an under-the-radar rating this week. Ricard had another quiet week in the edit this week, which is odd considering the big edits occurring on the rest of his tribe. He got mostly on complex narration, and some camp scenes, but not much beyond that. He has decent chances to win still, with good personal content in the premiere, and consistent screen time, but he has been on the quieter side this season. Ricard receives a middle-of-the-road rating this week. Shan got a huge edit this week, shown to be in control of the vote this week. We saw her thoughts on the vote, and how she was essentially controlling the vote this week. She was shown to outplay JD by convincing him to give her the advantage, and JD was unsuspecting the whole time. She is in an established duo with Ricard, and she also received personal content in the last episode with positivity, making her a high contender this season. Shan receives a complex personality rating this week, with the best chance to win in my opinion. Sydney was shown to be angry and frustrated this week, and was called out for it by Erika. This skews her edit negatively this week by the negative SBV from Erika, and she was mostly one note in the edit otherwise. She still was shown to have allies in Danny and Deshawn, but her edit this week was not complex. Sydney receives an over-the-top negative rating this week, with poor chances to win. Tiffany had a quiet episode this week, just like the Yace tribe as a whole. She gave us narration about how the Yace tribe has been trending upwards in challenges, and talked about how she herself has been doing. She didn't get much else this episode, but overall I think she has good chances to win, even with her more unconventional edit for a winner. Tiffany receives a middle-of-the-road positive rating this week. Xander was barely shown at all this week, following up his almost non-existent edit last week. Xander seems to disappear from the edit when he isn't relevant with his advantages, which is terrible for his winning chances. Xander receives an under-the-radar rating this week, with low chances to win. My contenders this week are Shan, Tiffany, Liana, and Ricard. At this point, Shan is still the best chance to win in my eyes, but we will see in coming weeks what happens. Those are my thoughts on the Edgic this week, and I look forward to seeing how the edit progresses with the cast this season. Thanks for watching.